Yes.
Speaking of PR,
Yes.
you know who's having a terrible PR time right now?
And this is so crazy because
Never happened. It's
this been
unprecedented.
the last 3-4 weeks of his PR strategy has just been ridiculous. Like, it's been terrible. Like, it's been loss after apology, after cancellation, after whatever. But
well, get into it for me. So Larussell deletes all of his social media accounts after backlash from saying Hitler, Donald Trump, and Jeffrey Epstein was heaven sent.
yes.
Yikes.
So he also said Martin Luther King. He also said
Malcolm.
Mm-hmm. And I don't know. Did he throw Obama in there? I don't know. I know he said Martin and Malcolm. So I'm gonna just stay there. So what he was trying to say is we all are heaven sent.
Yeah.
Like he said the devil was heaven sent as well. That's what we started with. So we started on the terrible. we started off. But before he even said that, he said Larussell, he said, my engineer told me not to do this.
He definitely did.
And all the comments were saying you should have listened to your engineer because he was performing in front of his crowd. The crowd was actually kind of feeling it a little bit, like, oh,
right. This is the people.
You know how that go though. You can say stuff live, and when you in person, and it age horribly because everybody got cameras. Right. So it's kind of like being recorded when you're 13 and you say something, and now like people are like, "This you? Now you running for Congress or whatever?" People like,
"No, this ain't me.
This you? You said this," and it's just like it aged terrible. But this comes after like 2 to 3 weeks ago. He announced that he signed to Roc Nation.
Right.
Now, he built his whole independent career, in my opinion, going at Jay-Z and Roc Nation for sending him a offer to sign him, and it was missing 2 zeros.
2.
So it was like, oh, we sent you an offer for $20,000, and then it was like, oh, I'm sorry, I meant $200,000. It's like, what? Or I meant $2 million. It's like, what? If I would have signed, that's what he said in his interviews. If I would have signed that, y'all would have took it, right? Mm-hmm. And then somebody took a picture and he posted it up with him and Jay-Z. So they're like, okay. Then they're like, oh, Jay-Z. They you know how they got the whole dinner with Jay-Z thing. They was like, Jay-Z took a dinner with Larussell.
That's funny.
So everybody was hyping him up. He was promoting his album.
Yeah.
And then in the middle of his album rollout, I think Snoop Dogg or somebody bought like 1,000 of his albums for $12,000, whatever.
Really?
Like, all these big celebrities was
promoting but Larussell is like that guy. Like, I don't think he didn't get to have the meeting with Jay-Z, right? Out of nowhere.
Yes. And then he announced he signed to Roc Nation. So half of his audience were cheering him on. Like, people was like, yeah. And, you know, I'm a Jay-Z fan. So I'm like, yeah, that's what's up. And I'm reading the comments and I'm like, oh, yeah. He did have all these interviews going at Roc Nation, going at Jay-Z, going at the man, going at these people.
Yeah.
Built his whole audience. So, you know, when you build an audience on resistance, F the man, independence, all of this.
It's like you sold your soul.
It's like you sold out. So a lot of people felt like he sold out. But people were still allowing him, you know, okay, we're going to give you a little breathing room. So that was kind of his first cancellation. People were like, that was his first piece of backlash. His next backlash was after he signs, he goes on a podcast and say, after listening to, like, he grew up loving Lil Wayne, but after listening to Lil Wayne, he don't be rapping about nothing. He ain't got no substance. He ain't got no, so like a lot of his music didn't age well. So now people start listening to Larussell music like, okay, you're criticizing one of the GOATs. Like, no matter how people feel about Wayne, he's in that GOAT conversation.
Yes.
He's one of those people, if you sit here and say Lil Wayne is a GOAT, I can't debate. Like, I can say, yeah, you got the Nas, you got the Jay-Z's, you got the Drakes of the world. But then you're going to be like, I mean, he still got an argument, though. You know what I'm saying?
That's what I was going to say. I don't think, because I seen a clip of that interview. Yeah. I don't think he was trying to go at Lil Wayne, but
he cleaned it up. He cleaned it up in the interview.
But I think the main point that he was trying to make got lost because he mentioned Lil Wayne. Does that make sense?
And to me, and this is no shot at Larussell, he's not there yet to criticize Wayne because Wayne is such a GOAT. Nobody can criticize him.
That's true.
Because he's reached that level to where, like, you can't criticize Wayne about rap. You can't criticize Kanye about rap. You can't criticize Kendrick, J. Cole, Drake, Jay-Z. These people are on, they reached the pinnacle of rap to where it's like, who are you? The only people who can criticize Drake is Lil Wayne, is Jay-Z, and they're never going to do it.
Yeah.
You see what I'm saying? The only people who can criticize Wayne is somebody who has Wayne catalog and has Wayne resume, and they're not going to criticize because they know what it takes to get up there.
I was going to say, I think that you have people who are so successful that it's like, yeah, there was some bumps along the road, but like they still made it to a level that not many people make it.
It's like the bench player who barely made it into the NFL, NBA, criticizing LeBron, Kobe, Magic. It's like,
and that's what I'm saying. I think, and maybe he's not ready for the mainstream, because here's the thing: those are type of conversations that you have in your backyard with your people.
You don't have them 24 hours after you sign the Rock Nation, and Jay-Z and Lil Wayne have had their tensions over the years, so people automatically thinking that Jay-Z or Rock Nation is having you say this now that you signed him. Like, you ain't never said this before. And now all of a sudden you sign to Jay-Z, you say this. So it was terrible timing. And he's constantly apologizing for everything. Like, that's like he's constantly, he walked that back. And then he'll double down on stuff, then walk it back again, and then double down on it. And then, like, when he got the backlash from this, he didn't walk this back. He doubled down on it, and then he started trying to walk it back, and it's just, then he deleted his.
I think he tried to shift the blame in the second one. So basically, the first apology was saying, or not apology, but explanation, was basically trying to say, like, I was trying to get to a point that even though we're all like creatures from God, like we have free will, and then it can and you, whatever you're doing with that free will, like, you got the same life as the next person. Why are you using your life?
But you know how they
say, be like this.
You know what they say though. If you explain, and you losing.
Yeah, because you're not supposed to have to explain.
If you explaining, you're losing people.
But here's the thing.
Because people see the headline, they don't see the explanation.
And I understand that, but I think that he could have made that point and used different characters.
Yes.
And here's my point.
Yes.
I think he could have still made that point, but there's people walking.
He literally used the worst
of the worst human beings. Historically, right? There's people who are here now today who have been affected by the Jeffrey Epsteins, right?
Yes.
I worked for a lady whose great grandparents were in the Holocaust, and that affected how her parents raised her. So that event still affected her, even though she was so far removed. I mean, it works with some communities, it doesn't work with other communities. But
he should have went on and said slave owners was having sin.
Yeah,
he should have just went on and said that.
I mean, and this is giving Kanye's White Life Matter.
Yeah, I mean, you should have just went on and said that, and now, like, when you started to pull out the worst of the worst, you should have just said Jeffrey Dahmer. You should have said all these serial killers, all these people.
I was about to say, or just to your point, categories. Maybe not names, but maybe like categories. Because I'm a Larussell fan, and when he went to the Breakfast Club and just like spit something nuts. After that, I was a Larussell fan from that day. I knew what he was getting to because I listened to his music and I know his mind.
We're intellectuals.
Yes.
We all know. We can understand and dissect, and we use deductive reasoning and all that. Like, but you got a master's degree from, you know what I'm saying? Like, from one of the top, the top schools.
Yeah, one of them.
One of the top schools. I mean, Yale. Most people going to say like Yale, Harvard. Whatever. Like, I expect you to understand anything I put in front of you. You're smart enough to dissect and digest and read and use context clues. I didn't go to the top school, but at least I went to school.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
You know what I'm saying? I'm a high level entrepreneur. I know what I'm doing.
I was about to say.
Like, so
you're more successful than most.
I expect people to put something in front of me and I be able to digest it. But we're the top 1% in terms of intellect and in terms of understanding. Most people read on the 7th or 8th grade level, and this is not trying to be funny. This is statistics.
Yeah.
People read on the 7th and 8th grade level, and that's high because most people can't really read and understand. All they do is see a headline. When I saw the headline, I thought it was fake. I'm like, bro, no, okay.
There's no way he would do that.
Because Larussell has said he's been seeing a smear campaign against him. He felt like that's been a smear campaign. He accused all the blogs of being a smear campaign. And then I know a lot of these bloggers, and they like, no, that's not how blogs work. Like, nobody pays us to say X, Y, and Z.
Right.
What happens is the Shade Room says it, so a bunch of small blogs pick up what the Shade Room says. Or Hollywood Unlocked said this, or Baller Alert, or Black Millionaires, or Say Cheese. These blogs say something, and usually all we do is repost what somebody else said because we don't want to get sued.
Yeah.
Like Sean Cotton from Say Cheese, he said it. He said, I don't like breaking news.
Yeah.
Because people try to get mad at you for breaking the news. Like TMZ, they don't get mad at Harvey for breaking the news because he's a white, old lawyer who's gonna sue y'all. Y'all scared of him.
You don't want it with Harvey. That's
y'all don't want it with Harvey, but y'all gonna come for the small black-owned blogs and say you're ruining my reputation. You're doing this. I'm gonna sue you. But y'all don't come for TMZ when they get your medical records and all of this other stuff. But that's a whole nother conversation. But he's saying like people doing a smear campaign. That's not how it works. How it works is people are lazy. Let's be honest. Journalism is lazy today. It's not about being it's not about being right. It's about being fast.
Yeah.
So if TMZ says this and people are just basically saying, okay, well, I'm not going to be liable for saying this. TMZ said it, so I'm sourcing TMZ. So if you're going to sue anybody, you're going to sue the source. You're not going to sue us.
Right.
So a lot of blogs literally just repost what other people say.
Yeah.
And that's how I do a lot of times. Like, I don't like to speculate on what people say. If Larussell said this, I'm posting what he said because I seen it posted on his page, and I say, Larussell said this. Like Shannon Sharp tried to sue us and threaten to sue us because we said something he literally said on national TV. He got mad at us. I'm like, Shannon, there's no smear campaign going on. Y'all got a smear campaign going on. Bro, there's no smear campaign going on. You literally said this. Mike Epps said something on the podcast. We reposted it. He got mad. And then when we said, bro, I remember I called you. I said, did you, send me the video? Because I thought, I heard you play it, but I just want to see the raw video. I sent that to him. He said, I'm just talking shit. I said, bro.
And I got scared, too, because.
I'm not going to say I got scared, but it scared me enough to call you because this is a real celebrity. And he said, I'm about to sue y'all. So I picked up the phone and said, let's make sure before I respond, let me make sure because you on my team. Like, we work together. I got your back through all of this. And you already know the buck stopped with me. Like, this is my brand. So they're not going to sue you. They're going to sue me.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, okay, I got your back, but just make sure
our ducks are in a row.
And when you sent me the clip, I went to the original podcast. Celebrities be saying stuff literally on their page, and you post it up on your blog, and they say you're doing a smear campaign. Larussell, there's no smear campaign. You literally said Hitler, the devil, Donald Trump, and Jeffrey Epstein was heaven sent. And now you're mad that people are not agreeing and using their deductive third grade education
I was gonna say
to hear your bars. Nobody's doing that. They reading the headline and saying, bro, this is fake.
You gotta understand who the audience
this is bad.
You gotta understand who the audience is, and they don't have time to go into to study the material and say, okay, there might be a deeper. The only time I've really heard, and then for him to be like a newer artist, because people will do that. Don't get me wrong. People will be like, well, what did this person mean by this?
Yes, when they love you. If Rihanna say something out of pocket, you know how people were trying to justify, even people now, like Nicki been saying all this crazy stuff.
The barbs are gonna come.
The barbs are gonna come out and say, well, at least she's doing it for, and I kind of respect it. At least she's doing it for her citizenship. I was madder at Kanye because Kanye ain't getting nothing out of his trolling all in the White House.
He lost a lot.
If you gonna do all the trolling and do all that to get pardoned or to get a contract or do all this, I'm not saying I agree with it, but I can understand where it's coming from. If you just doing all this trolling and bootlicking and all of this for either Democrats or Republicans. I don't care. If you're doing it, at least get something out of it.
Yeah. And I think the only thing he kind of got out of this was like misunderstanding. And hopefully this is the last negative.
Bro, just go rap, bro.
Right. Because I don't want to, like, I don't want him to, like, feel like we don't like him. But hopefully this is the last time. You're on a new platform. You just got signed. You're probably being introduced to a lot more like a lot more people than you're used to.
Yes.
And so let's just hope this is a learning lesson.
Yes. I just want Larussell to realize that how these blogs work, nobody's paying us to do a smear campaign. Bloggers are lazy, and the easiest way to make content is just to say what you said.
Yeah.
That's the easiest way. Rihanna posted that she's in the booth. I'm not about to go think about if I had to really go verify, is Rihanna really working on the app? No, I'm going to just look at her Instagram and she said, I'm in the booth.
Yeah.
Rihanna's in the booth. That's a good post. Instead of going and contact her publicist and doing this and doing that.
And if not, she lied, not us.
Exactly. Rihanna tricked us. Not, I'm going to just go off of her page.
Yeah.
That's the, go straight to the source. You don't even have, now, if it's something that's real serious, okay, I'm going to go verify, fact check, and do this and do that. But, like, if it's that serious, I'm probably just not going to post it.
I was going to say, if I can't trust your Instagram live anymore because...
Exactly. If I can't trust what you said out of your own mouth, then that's a little too, that's above my pay grade as a journalist. I'm going to just let somebody else handle that.
Yeah.
I'm going to get that to TMZ. Thank you guys for watching. In order to continue to support independent journalism, I need you to subscribe to our page below. And also, if you want the full podcast and more exclusive content, make sure you subscribe to the Patreon. Link is in the description.